coming through in our channel is that you remember the demoted military general, that is General Sanyatwe, has been sworn in this morning by Mnanagwa as the Minister of Sports, taking over from Kirsty Coventry, who was actually promoted into an international sporting position. As such, sport and politics, internationally it is respected. If you were a politician and you take up a sporting position, automatically you relinquish your political position. So for Kirsty Coventry, it wasn't a demotion, it was in fact a promotion. We saw Mnanagwa taking advantage of that being celebrated at State House. So Sanyatwe has been actually sworn in, which means he has accepted to be the Minister of Sports, taking a very, very weak political position after being appointed as a military boss, then demoted just like that. What is the implication of that, and what is the posture of that? Does this mean that the retired General Chiwenga faction has been hit a blow? I strongly do not believe so. Military personnel are not like civilians. What I am of the view retired General Chiwenga faction is doing to Mnanagwa, they are giving him time to actually explore who exactly he is. They are giving him more time to actually reveal his true colors, betray him to an extent possibly he can. And we are seeing him not realizing that, in fact, continue with his miscalculation. It was a miscalculation to touch Sanyatwe, and we have already seen a reaction from the retired General Chiwenga faction. Being happy about that, in fact, calling for stern action against Mnanagwa as well as those around him. I saw a picture of Sanyatwe going to actually shake hands with retired General Chiwenga and Mnanagwa pointing at them. I think I will have to go also to the video per se. I have just analyzed the pictures and read the news that indeed he has been actually sworn in as the minister. He has accepted the position of being a minister. So anything else outside that is lies. But does this mean that retired General Chiwenga faction is choosing to actually abide by Mnanagwa? I don't think so. You could see even the face of retired General Chiwenga. He was not excited watching one of his strong ally being demoted. And this is an embarrassment, I can tell you, to Sanyatwe, being appointed as a minister of sports in that matter. The minister of sport, I think, in terms of getting salary, it gets low salaries. Yes, it's an important ministry. Sporting activity is a very, very important actually, but not for a military general. I can tell you, Mnanagwa was doing this to actually cause pain to Sanyatwe. Remember, this did not follow constitutional procedures. I think individuals such as Sanyatwe gets to realize how undermining the constitution is consequential. You remember him saying to the people of Zimbabwe that ZANU-PF will rule until donkeys grow horns, and saying if the people of Zimbabwe decides to not to vote for ZANU-PF, they will do command actually voting to make sure that ZANU-PF remains in power. I think here we are seeing nemesis he is now a victim of a process that did not follow the Constitution, a process that undermined the Constitution. Now, will they react? Definitely, they have already reacted. You don't have to ask that question. They have already reacted through Blessed Keza. Blessed Keza is actually their voice, and they are deliberately using him as their voice. They are trying to play exactly the same game that is played by Mnanagwa. When you ask Mnanagwa personally today and say, do you intend to go for a third term? He will actually tell you that he is not going for a third term, while the headline of his propaganda machinery would be saying he is actually going for a third term. So it's a game of chess that is being played here by these two camps within a singly political entity. People who were once friends, people who understand each other and how they play actually their political game. They played Robert Gabriel Mugabe together, and at the moment I can attest to you that these individuals understand themselves very well, that they are playing each other. So everybody is being played here. It is quite very possible. So we wait to see a tangible reaction following this. Now it will be, sometimes military personnel are trained not to use their emotion. This is part of training. You would hardly see an emotional decision being taken by a military person. So them going to Mnanagwa, submitting, and remember the military remained submissive. Even when Robert Gabriel Mugabe was removed, when they were asking him go and resign, we've organized a press briefing, and when the whole world was listening, Robert Gabriel Mugabe refusing to resign, in fact coming up with his political solution, putting them on the table, the military still stood up, saluted the very same man that was refusing to actually to move from power. But as soon as they stood up, they ordered opposition politicians as well as ZANU-PF politicians to go and pass a vote of no confidence against Robert Gabriel Mugabe. So it's politics at play at the moment. Most probably what I will call the last kick of a dying horse coming from Emmerson Dambudzo Mnanagwa. He knows what is coming on his way, but is actually miscalculating again in terms of taking a proper posture, because what he is currently doing, he is further adding fuel to already a burning fire that he has already started, and he is endangering his boys that he has been using. I'm deliberately calling them boys because they have been behaving like political boys, endangering their lives for only one man and for only one family at expense of about 16 million people of Zimbabwe, as Blessed Keza actually alluded. So the drama and the theatrics that you are seeing, the movie that it's just a movie, it's something, but it does not say, it's actually appearance versus reality. What you are seeing appearing, it is not the reality. Sanyatwe might have actually appeared to have taken that position, but in reality, he is not accepting that, but he would not publicly say so. I know a lot of people have said that he has actually, I saw a post being circulated. I know a lot of people, because they are desperate for change. So propaganda is actually the order of the day. You see a lot of information. It must be hard these days to be a Zimbabwean trying to process all this and get sense to all this. We'll be trying by all means with the power and the capacity we have to make it a point that we simplify what is exactly happening happening. Otherwise, the words of Blessed Keza still stands, and I can attest to you that maybe before the end of the day, you may see some of the fulfillments of the statements that were made by Blessed Keza yesterday. Already I've heard that drones have been flying in one of the police stations. It remains unconfirmed. I will tell you, it remains unconfirmed, but it's something that Blessed Keza promised to the Zimbabwe Republic Police, that drones will be flying as the people of Zimbabwe would be protesting, and any police who will actually claim any life from the people of Zimbabwe who would actually be demonstrating against Emmerson Mnanagwa will be held liable post the evil Emmerson Mnanagwa regime. Quite a very, very difficult time to the people of Zimbabwe. As an advisor, I'm advising, if you are around Zimbabwe, please make it a point that you stock as much as possible food because times ahead are very, very difficult. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time,